And now, B-Movie Mania presents Dark Hollywood. With your hosts, Michael Hayes and Paul A. Brooks. Tonight's guest, Mothman expert, Dr. Allena Kestrel. To call the hot tip line, dial 419-777-8478. That number once again, 419-7-SQUIRT. Now, from deep within the Windy City, here is Michael Hayes.
Mothman, Mothman, who are you? Mothman, Mothman, do you poo? A humorous but classic schoolyard chant. We all know this one from when we were children in the 1960s about mystical creature Mothman, where he came from, and does he defecate? The mysteries of the unknown. We may never know. Though tonight, we may know. For tonight we are discussing none other than the Mothman and his connection to this Dark Hollywood. With me tonight, as usual, is expert in just about anything I ask. He has always picked up the ball if I said, Paul, do you know about goblins? He always responds with, duh, yes, of course. I once asked him about a toilet troll, which may come up tonight. And he said, Mike, I know about all the toilets and all the trolls. Paul Brooks is with me tonight. Paul, are you there?
Michael, I am here. Thank you for those kind words. And once again, good evening to you from Hollywood.
It's surprising you know it's evening, Paul, for usually you are deep beneath the crust.
Well, this is true, but Michael, even in the middle of the afternoon, it is still very dark here in Hollywood.
Oh, and Paul, I believe you have, well, you're in a special location and you've brought, surprisingly, you've somehow convinced producer Alex to come with you.
Well, you know, this is a special episode of Dark Hollywood, and so I wanted to get out of the studio, take producer Alex with me, and get to a location relevant to tonight's topic. So right now we're calling it Mothman Mobile Headquarters, and we will be coming to you from here all night long. And Mike, you might hear a little bit of an echo in the distance. That is because we are actually inside the world-famous Bronson Caves here in Hollywood, California, where many TV shows, movies have been filmed, and tonight we have set up Mothman Mobile Headquarters to get to the bottom of this mystery that has been plaguing Hollywood for decades.
Wow. You are putting yourself at great risk, along with producer Alex, who, I might add, is unpaid.
Correct.
But tonight he may pay with his blood, which is, in my mind, the most expensive of currencies.
This is true.
Paul, you've told me that you have a secret tonight. You have many secrets, Paul. I know some, of which now they are not secrets, because I did blog about them on my website. But you've told me there's a new one. Is this something you can say now? Or would you like a big reveal later on?
Well, Mike, let me...
One second, Paul. I need to crack open a Night Beast hard seltzer.
Please do.
I've been refreshing myself with the Beast of the Night. This 10% alcohol by volume Night Beast hard seltzer has been hitting my night spots. Please, Paul, you were saying something about a big reveal. Paul, that is a delicious seltzer.
That's right, Mike. Tonight, here at the Mothman Mobile Headquarters in Los Angeles, we will be revealing... You okay?
I'm sorry, Paul. Wrong pipe of the Night Beast hard seltzer. It will take you hard whether you like it or not.
It's an acquired taste.
Yes. Please continue about the big reveal.
Right. Tonight, at Mothman Mobile Headquarters, we will be revealing something big. I cannot say what it is just yet that we will be revealing, but I can promise you and our listeners that by the end of this episode, we will get to the bottom of the Mothman mystery.
Refreshing, Paul. Your big reveal was refreshing, just as refreshing as this Night Beast hard seltzer.
Thank you.
Paul, I want to talk more about the Night Beast hard seltzer, but before that, I want to mention that we will have a special guest. Have you met this special guest?
You know, I want to say that I ran into her at a convention years ago, while doing some research.
Paul, I didn't even say who it was. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Allena Kestrel. Have you met her at a convention?
Right, yeah.
Is that who you were thinking of?
Who?
Allena Kestrel?
Yeah.
That is who you thought you had met at one dark Hollywood night at a convention?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, she's an ultra-terrestrial researcher and a Mothman / Batman expert. Do I have that right?
Who told you this?
Well, I met her at the convention.
Oh, yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I'm excited to have her on. She's great.
Yes, she is a great human and a great ultra-terrestrial researcher. Allena Kestrel, that'll be after the break. But first, this message from Night Beast Industries. With the future of this hellscape world a dark, foggy mess, and the sheer existence of our loved ones shrouded in a murky mirage of muddled memories, a bright beam of radiative certainty is something we all wish we could afford. Well, now you can, with Night Beast Industries' new Laser Beam Lemon flavored hard seltzer. Simply crack open a skinny can of our new patented bubbling elixir and gulp down the refreshing taste of unadulterated clarity. With lemon. Every invigorating sip of our Laser Beam Lemon flavored hard seltzer is a purifying 5% of grain alcohol. That's right. After just one 12-ounce can of our thirst-quenching Laser Beam Lemon flavored hard seltzer, the walls will start to come down. Keep drinking, and you'll understand the deep complexities of the world and deep state in a far more confident light. Finish a case? You'll witness the world with such truth and conviction, you'll see through the lies your friends and loved ones have been telling you all along, and begin to understand how the Greys and Reptilians really have more in common than they don't, and if they would just work together, they could help save the humans on this earth from our incompetent selves. So, just go to bit.ly/Nightbeast to get your personal digital coupon code that can be used anywhere Night Beast Industries Laser Beam Lemon flavored hard seltzer is sold. That's bit.ly/Nightbeast. Get a taste of real, fizzy truth. And lemon.
Boy, it's dark and damp inside these caves. I could really go for a Night Beast seltzer right about now, Mike.
Well, Paul, hopefully you were listening to what I just said. Because then you will know that that is a great option to have, and I also get money if you do buy them. I get a small percentage, and they will also eventually return my daughter.
Okay.
In 2002, a supernatural horror mystery film directed by Mark Pellington was released based on the 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies. It starred Richard Gere and Laura Linney, and if I may be honest, I didn't care for it.
Ooh, wow.
But I'll tell you who I do care for. Our guest tonight. She is an ultra-terrestrial researcher. I don't know what that is, but it sounds even better than extra. Paul has met her once at a convention in Long Beach, California. Allena Kestrel. Allena, can you hear us?
Hi, yes. Hi, Mike. Hi, Paul. I can hear you loud and clear.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hopefully not too clear. There is supposed to be a jamming signal to stop the feds.
Well, that goes without saying. I got my own precautions here as well.
Yes, we can tell you actually sound pleasant for once. I'm sorry. That was a bit of dark Hollywood humor.
Allena, where are you right now?
I am in Chicago.
Wonderful.
And we've actually been in the middle of our own string of Mothman sightings here in Chicago. So that is what brought me here, specifically to investigate these Mothman or Batman sightings that have been going on in Chicago since about 2017. I am still searching, but I believe I'm getting closer. And I have discovered quite a number of interesting things that I think you guys are really gonna, and your listeners are going to find very interesting as well.
Wow. So, Paul, I don't know if you heard what Allena just said.
I did.
And by the way, Mike, can I just stop you right there?
Yes.
Before we go on, it's pronounced Allena.
Allena.
Allena. Just say Alan with the A at the end. It's fine. It's fine. I get that a lot. It's fine. You didn't know. It's okay.
I am very sorry, Miss Kestrel.
That works as well.
Paul?
Yeah.
Allena has said...
Allena.
That...
Allena. Alan with an A on the end of it, Mike.
Maybe only Paul can say my name, and that would be a little easier for you.
Miss Kestrel.
Yes.
You have referenced a Mothman. Now, normally, as seen in Pellington's 2002 film, The Mothman Prophecies, the Mothman is from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. But you say he has been seen in Chicago.
Oh, yes. There have been reports of large winged creatures all over North America ever since human beings came here. We've got the Piazza bird down in the St. Louis area. We've got sightings of pterodactyls in central Illinois, Mothman, thunderbirds, all these things that have been described since human life on this continent that can be described as Batmen or Mothmen. And they really started coming in, like you said, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in 1966. Between 1966 and 1967, there were over 100 reports in this very small town in West Virginia. Nobody had ever seen anything like this in memory there. So it really was, Point Pleasant, you're right, really did put the Mothman cryptid on the map.
Wow. You said pizza bird from St. Louis? Is that correct?
Piazza bird, yes.
Is that why they don't have pizza? Did this ancient creature steal their pizza from St. Louis?
It's possible. It's very possible.
The gateway city?
This thing is said to have come down and try to swoop up children. So if somebody had a pizza out, I would not. One of these things would have no problem picking up a pie, bringing it on home to the nest.
It reminds me of the abduction of my daughter by Night Beast Industries, who have this wonderful hard seltzer that I recommend all of you try to save my daughter.
Allena, if I may, did you also say Thunderbird?
Oh, yes.
Was that, now is that you talking about the 1960s puppet show? Thunderbirds?
Are you thinking of Thundercats?
Now, Thunderbirds was a marionette-style show, if I remember, Paul, right?
Marionettes, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but these were much earlier and much larger, and they were birds.
Okay, so there's a connection there. Got it.
Yeah. We'll have to agree to disagree, yes. I have a call on the line here, or a message left to us by someone who seems to be interested in this Mothman situation. I'd like to play it for us, and perhaps we can discuss what this caller has to say.
Of course.
Hey, hi there. This is B-Rad Dinkleboard calling. I have a question for y'all. Just wondering, I know there are Mothmans, but I was wondering if there are Mothwomens. And if so, do you think they're hot? Because I feel like they'd know a thing or two, but I don't know. That's just me thinking. I don't know. Call me if you have any information on that, because I'd really like to know about that.
Wow.
That is a very good question. Interestingly enough, yes, there are not as many reports as Mothwomen as men, but I think that's, just society in general, very patriarchal. You see something and you automatically assign a male gender to it. And I think the Mothwomen do need to get out front more and be heard and be seen, make their presence known. Because, you can't just have Mothmen. The Mothwomen do just as much flying around and startling people as the men. And some say the Mothwomen do it better.
Oh, wow. So
I am glad your caller asked. Now, as to whether or not I find them hot, I could take it or leave it.
Very well said, Alan.
Now, Mike, are we, he said call him back. Are we calling him back about this, or? Maybe later. Yeah, maybe after the show we'll give him a ring. Yeah.
Allena Kestrel.
Allena.
It is felt that the name Mothman was given to the Mothman by an unnamed Ohio copy editor, and they believe that this copy editor was a fan of things like Batman. Do you think that's the only connection between the two?
Well, I want to start out by saying that connection is correct. I see you have done your research for this topic, and that is great.
Mr. Alda, I have.
But no, that is not the only connection between Mothman and Batman.
I knew it. Please, can you elaborate?
Like I said, I originally came to Chicago in search of Mothman. And in doing so, I read a lot of reports from eyewitnesses. And I've even talked to a few of them in person. None of them used the word Mothman or moth at all. The Mothman moniker was added after the fact. What people actually are describing this thing as, they're saying they see a giant bat the size of a man, a large man. So, all things considered, they are seeing a Batman. And that's what really got me on the path to uncover these other connections. That's just the beginning.
Wow.
But apparently when that copy editor named the creature, Batman was already taken. Well, what's another thing that flies around? How about a moth? How about Mothman?
Well, Allena, if I understand correctly, Batman was created in 1939.
Yes.
And as you said, the first so-called Mothman report was not until 1966. So that makes sense that they didn't want to call him the Batman.
Well, it's even more interesting than that.
Here we go.
Exactly. Buckle up, folks. The sightings in Point Pleasant started in 1966, but the first published, recorded reports were in the 1940s.
Wow.
Just after Batman was invented.
Yes.
So, I mean, I gotta raise the question, just out of nowhere, these two dudes, Bob Kane and Bill Finger in 1939, hey, how about a Batman? And then all of a sudden, here's an actual Batman flying around. You gotta wonder, were they experiencers?
What do you mean when you say experiencers? Can you
Did Bob Kane and Bill Finger, the creators of Batman, have an encounter with what we now know as Mothman? Was the Mothman their inspiration for creating Batman?
Do you feel that maybe Bill Finger was known by such a moniker because he is the one who potentially fingered the murderers of Mothman's parents in the alley?
There it is.
That is possible. You know, I mean, anything's possible. Back then, people didn't talk about this sort of thing.
This is true.
It's very likely that the creators of Batman had some sort of experience with Mothman or the actual Batman before they made the comic character.
And we knew this, Michael. We knew we were going down this path.
We knew. And in fact, another call has lit up on the line here. No thanks to producer Alex, who, Paul, you have taken out of my bunker and brought to yours. So,
yeah, I'm getting really thirsty. I'm sorry, I had to send him out for the night beast.
A, that's a good idea. And B, I am handling both the microphone and mixer board tonight by myself, as well as the phone board.
Wow.
But we have another call about the connection between Batman and the Mothman.
Great, let's hear it.
Hey guys, this is, well, you know, I don't want to use my real name, so let's just use my code name. This is Dark Star. I'm making it up as I go. Hey, I was just calling in because, you know, I know this, you know, we're talking about the subject here. We're talking about, you know, the reality of the fact here that the Batman and Mothman could be or are the same person. We don't know the identity of either of these people, you know, but like we see them all around. But what happened? You can't find Gotham on a map, right? You can't. What happened? What did Mothman, Batman do? You know, what did they do? What did they do to this city? It's not on any map. I don't even know. Can't even find it in the history books or anything. You know, it's like it never even existed. It never even existed. Talk about that. Talk about the reality of that.
I was hoping someone would bring this up. Gotham, where is it?
In all of my research, and it's been years that I've been looking into this, all signs point to Point Pleasant.
Oh.
It can be argued that Chicago even is Gotham.
Yes.
The Dark Knight movies were filmed in Chicago. I believe they came out in, 2008 and 2012?
That's right. That's correct, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So those happened, and then after that, Chicago started having sightings. Mothman sightings. Batman sightings.
Would Pittsburgh also be considered Gotham? Because wasn't, I'm out here in Hollywood, The Dark Knight Rises was filmed in Pittsburgh, was it not?
I know Dark Knight, and then there were three Dark Knight movies?
Correct.
Two of them were filmed in Chicago. So yeah, the case can be made for pretty much any city in America.
Well, Pittsburgh is between the two.
Sure. And there could be multiple Gothams.
Allie, I'd like to pitch a question towards you, and Paul, please listen in. as well.
Sure.
But is it not true that Gotham is an anagram for Mothman if you change a couple letters?
That is a very valid point.
Right? If you change 2 letters, you get Mothman from Gotham.
This is very true.
How many red glowing eyes does the Mothman have?
Exactly 2.
2.
You know, I have not gone so far as to do any numerology with these, but if you have any listeners who are into numerology and want to get the numerical values of, say, Gotham, Batman, Mothman, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I would be shocked if they don't add up to the same thing.
I bet you're right. Allena. Let's follow this up. We need to take a break for another Night Beast Industries commercial. I'm going to make sure it is for the hard seltzer because that is their specific product that will help me and my offspring. So, I will talk about the bubble water now, and when we get back, let's discuss Mothman / Batman and whether or not he is a do-gooder or not.
Can I pose a question when we come back?
Paul, I am trying to prep for this ad read.
Oh, sorry.
Existence today seems to be nothing more than an insufferable barrage of negativity and wrong opinions. Those with and without authority won't stop telling you how to live your life and how you're doing it wrong. If only there were a way to shut them out so you could focus on what is important to you and your closest loved ones. Well, now you can, with Night Beast Industries' new pickle and papaya flavored hard seltzer. Simply crack open a skinny can of our new patented bubbling elixir and gulp down the restorative pickly taste of quality privacy. And papaya. Every vigilant sip of our pickle and papaya flavored hard seltzer is an insulating 11% of grain alcohol. That's right, this one goes up to 11. After just one 12-ounce can of our thirst-quenching pickle and papaya flavored hard seltzer, the walls will start to build themselves. Keep drinking, and the onslaught of unwanted correction to misguided advice will slowly begin to fade away, safeguarding you from having to face your true self and circumstances. Finish the whole case, and you'll find yourself in a warm cocoon of blurred reality and zesty collapse. No one will be able to penetrate your fortress of solitude, no matter how loudly they scream your full name or how many orifices they probe with their study of the human race. Just go to bit.ly/nightbeast to get your personal digital coupon code that can be used anywhere Night Beast Industries pickle and papaya flavored hard seltzer is sold. That's bit.ly/nightbeast. Get a taste of real pickled security. And papaya. Thank you, me, for that wonderful ad by Night Beast Industries.
Mike, can I ask Allena a question now?
Paul, are your headphones broken?
Well, the problem is we're out here in this cave, and Alex he bought one of those little mobile hotspots so that I can hear you guys. And we only have like a gig on this thing, so the quality, I can't really hear you very well.
Paul, relay this to Alex. Have him get more from his parents. We know that's the only reason he's got the gig anyway. That his dad did save my life from the goblins. And that's why he has the job. Please tell him just to ask his parents for more.
Tell him he's an ass?
Yeah, yes. Tell him he's an ass.
Okay. He's still not back yet.
Well, okay.
I'm here by myself. It's scary. Like it's dark. I might die.
Okay, Paul, we have Alan Alda sitting here ready to continue with the story. Yeah. Please ask the question.
Allena.
Yes.
What?
Yes, Paul.
What?
How did you say it? Allena.
I
keep saying it. I keep thinking it's Alan Alda. I keep hearing it, and I think I love him.
Just let me ask the question.
Well, okay. Well.
Now, Mothman, a lot of people might not realize this, but if I understand correctly, Mothman
Are you speaking directly to the Mothman right now? You keep saying Mothman.
No, I'm talking to Allena, and I'm asking her about the fucking Mothman.
Okay,
Just drink your Night Beast.
Paul, I understand it's cold and you're upset, but you cannot say the cuss words because producer Alex is not here to censor it. So now the public has heard you say fuck and also,
well,
God damn it. Now also me. Yeah, also that.
Let me just ask the question.
Okay, fine. Ask the question.
Mothman.
If you must.
Allena, Mothman has never been, if I understand correctly, never been reported to harm anyone, right? He just spooks them. So is there some sort of correlation here, some sort of connection between Mothman's behavior and what we typically associate with the Batman, you know, trying to assist people?
That's absolutely correct. This Mothman creature, he's not attacking people, or she, as the case may be. In fact, the most famous sighting that kind of launched this whole legend of Mothman, 4 young people in their teens, maybe early 20s tops, driving in their car through an abandoned ammunition storage area in rural West Virginia.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think we all know about the TNT area.
Exactly.
Don't we? Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And not only was there the ammunitions warehouses, these little domes, these little igloos that housed ammunition during World War II, there was also a chemical plant on that property, which they were driving around. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it was when they were in that area that they saw this creature. It came toward them. So the driver stepped on the gas, got them right back to town. He said he was driving 100 miles an hour. This thing kept pace with their car.
Wow.
It was very large. It was much larger than any bird they'd ever seen. Had these glowing red eyes. And it made kind of a chirping noise. Kind of like, might I say, a bat would make. Moths don't chirp, people. Moths don't chirp.
That's right.
So to them, these young people perceived this as this creature chasing them, trying to get them. He was trying to steer them away from danger. That's not a great place to be hanging out, kids, in the old ammunition warehouses, chemical. In fact, the area was actually polluted by some leaked chemicals several years ago. So it was in their best interest to get chased out of that place and not go poking around in a dangerous area. So Mothman may very well have saved their lives that night.
Wow.
Yes.
Much like the Batman character, people thought he was up to no good at first. If you remember original, the way the Batman story starts out, he was at odds with police enforcement. People were afraid of him because he was a menacing image, and they didn't understand. Mothman is kind of in that same place right now. He's going around, he's not harming anyone. In fact, he might be saving people. But they just see this thing they don't understand, it's spooky, and so they assume he's a bad guy.
And you said that these initial reports were happening in 1966, correct?
Correct.
It's interesting that that's the case because in doing my research, I discovered that on January 12th, 1966, the Batman television series starring Adam West premiered.
Exactly.
1966.
Exactly. Wow. And you know when that series ended?
Wow.
When's that?
1968. You know when the Point Pleasant sightings spanned?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
1966 till the very end of 1967. So 1966 all the way up until 1968. And they started just like that, and they ended just as quick.
Wow.
It's like he was in Point Pleasant, jumping up and down and waving his arms, saying, "No, guys, you got it wrong. I'm Batman."
I believe what you're referencing with the quick ending in succession of the Mothman sightings is maybe his greatest attempt at doing good, which would be the Silver Bridge.
Yeah, that is a tricky one. I mean, even to this day, if you go to Point Pleasant and you talk to the people there, there's still people living there whose family and friends died on that bridge. So it's really a tough matter to talk about. But
Absolutely.
The day before the bridge collapsed, people reported seeing 2 men on the bridge. Not a Mothman, not a Batman.
Oh.
2 men dressed in a sort of governmental style. You didn't have government types around Point Pleasant. You didn't have people in suits in Point Pleasant. You know, it's a very blue-collar sort of area.
Absolutely.
And then the next day, it was rush hour. Everybody was going home from work. It was actually an electrical failure that caused all these cars to fill the bridge past its capacity. The light got stuck. I believe it was on red. So all these cars are piled on the bridge, and it goes down. A couple people have said that they thought they saw Mothman on the bridge. Since Mothman was there at the time of the collapse, of course, he gets blamed for the disaster. Whereas it's my theory, and not only my theory, this theory is gaining more and more traction in the Mothman community. It really sounds to me like Mothman was framed.
Wow.
Because you had these guys maybe messing with the electronics, with the stoplights, and maybe pulling pins out, loosening things the day before. Mothman's just up there trying to fix it.
Oh.
If I understand correctly, you're talking about these men. You mentioned earlier that they were wearing suits. I think I'm able to connect the dots enough here. Are you trying to say
Here we go.
that there were quote unquote men in black in Point Pleasant?
Yes.
Wow.
This is where the Men in Black story came from.
With Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Exactly. So, there's the Hollywood version of the Mothman prophecy, movie. Well, then you've also got the Hollywood version of Men in Black, and they have a leader. Are you familiar with the story of Indrid Cold?
Indrid Cold.
Right. Indrid Cold was seen in the same area of Point Pleasant. He looked very much like these other men running around. He only asked very mundane questions, such as, what are you called? What hour is it? And the entire time, he's just got this big grin on his face. Indrid Cold is also called the Grinning Man.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I think I know where you're going with this.
Almost like a Joker or Riddler character.
There it is.
And he's letting his henchmen go and do his dirty work.
Now is this Indrid Cole?
Indrid Cold, yes.
Right. Is he the man? Is he the man who directed Men in Black? Was he the director of the film?
Oh.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't know if you were trying to get at the fact that maybe it was Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, other people within the organization who were there. Maybe they were the henchmen and he was the director.
Have you seen Will Smith? The man doesn't age.
Correct.
This is true.
I would like to take this time to have another call that has come in on the line. No thanks to producer Alex. I have fielded this call.
He's back now if you want to say anything to him.
Tell him to have his finger on the cuss button, please.
The what?
The cuss button.
Cusp?
The cuss button.
Oh, like cursing.
Producer Alex, you motherfucker.
Wow. Mike, I didn't tell him yet.
Ah, jeez.
He can't hear you.
Okay, well, another sip of this delicious Night Beast hard cider.
He's way back. I don't know why, but he walked all the way to the back of the cave to see if anything's back there. We don't know what's back. We don't know what's in here. You know, they might be shooting Star Trek in here. We don't know.
It's as if he doesn't give a flying F about this show.
Don't say the actual word.
Well, I didn't. I said the first letter. Anyway, here is the next call.
Hey, yeah, I can't even believe I'm calling you guys. I hear what you guys are saying, yeah, about the Mothman and, you know, the whole bridge failure and him feeling bad that, he wasn't able to fix this bridge in time. That just seems like a real specific skill for someone to have. And so, like, how would the Mothman know how to fix a bridge? Like, he would have had to go to, like, a lot of schooling, you know, to get that kind of engineering skill. And I'm just saying, like, I know you're talking about what his identity is, but I'm just, there's got to only be just a handful of people who have that type of engineering skill. And I don't want to name any names. I'm not going to name my name. I don't want to name any names, but, like, there's a guy I know. He lives on the south side of Chicago. And I think, and now I'm just like, is he the Mothman? I've known this guy since we were kids. We went to elementary school. Is he the Mothman? I'm just really freaking out about this. I'll hang up and listen to your answers. Okay, bye.
I think this ties a couple things together because we've mentioned Chicago, but we've also talked about the Batman. And if I remember correctly, the Batman is a bit of a jack of all trades.
This is true, but unfortunately, he does have his limitations. In the Chicago area, for example, he tends to kind of appear to people walking along the lakefront or walking along the forest path. He appears and then he takes off. It doesn't sound very heroic from their perspective, but Chicago does have, it's a decent amount of crime. The Mothman lands in front of them. They're so transfixed on what's in front of them, they don't turn around. If they were to turn around, I guarantee you there would be a potential criminal behind them. Mothman just came down to scare away the bad guy.
This makes sense.
So the person runs off, Mothman can leave now and go on his way.
It makes perfect sense.
This explains a lot. Many people claimed they saw the Mothman at that fateful night at Silver Bridge. And the Mothman may have just come down to try to help. And the bridge was a bit too much. Perhaps
exactly.
Without the engineering degrees, was not able to solve that problem.
Well, Mike, you mentioned you mentioned jack of all trades in relation to the last call.
Who?
You did. You said jack of all trades.
Who's that?
Well, it was a TV show starring Bruce Campbell. I think it was a spin-off of Xena, Warrior Princess.
Yes, I see where you've gone here.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, no? Oh.
No, because that's the different franchise.
So you're saying Lucy Lawless is not one of these moth women?
Well, I don't think that she was on Jack of all trades very much. That doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm saying that's a whole that was on in the mid-90s, you know, well, like when Batman Forever was coming out or whatever.
Was that the little guy?
No, that was, what's his name? Val Kilmer? Val Kilmer was in that.
That was...
Batman Forever.
Oh.
Yeah, with Robin. I think.
I'm still thinking about Hercules and Kevin Sorbo.
Right, okay. Sorry, got off track there a little bit.
But you know what? It's not off track in the grand scheme of.
Thank you.
Of this topic.
I told you, Paul.
We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. It's all entirely possible. Like I said before, there are no coincidences.
Only synchronicities.
Yep.
Exactly. The simplest explanation is usually the correct one. Either there's some supernatural moth being flying around scaring people for no reason, or he's the Batman.
And the Batman can go anywhere, as we know. He's got flight. He has the power of flight. He can be in Point Pleasant. He can be in Chicago. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Tim Burton's Batman yet, and Batman Returns. Those movies, I think, were shot in Los Angeles. So, you know, who's to say that Los Angeles isn't Gotham City? He could be out here.
Yeah, Gotham City could be a moving entity.
Right.
In itself. It's
like that R. Kelly song that he sang about Gotham City. I think he said in that, a moving target.
This is great you brought this up, Paul. Paul, do you still have that key to the basement of Joel Schumacher's summer home?
I do still have it. Obviously, I'm not going to say how that came into my possession, but I do still have it.
Of course not.
I don't have it here at my... I don't have it in the cave, you know, so...
Well, perhaps in the future, all I'm asking is maybe you could do a little reconnaissance swing.
Where? To his... to his summer house, yeah. Because he did Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, right?
That is exactly where I'm going with this.
I'm in the Bat Cave where the 66 version was shot, just so you know. I got to give you these Hollywood facts.
Oh.
Do we have more calls?
Oh, God. There is one that's been sitting on the line.
Let's do it.
Here is a call about something we didn't touch on very much.
Hey, Dark Hollywood. First time, long time here. Just kind of wondering, why hasn't there been a Mothman movie reboot? Like a dark and gritty one, that's super popular right now? And, I was kind of thinking like Richard Gere could come back, or maybe Val Kilmer or George Clooney or even Michael Keaton or maybe just Batman. Why not just have Batman be in it? I think that'd be really cool. All right, thanks. Love the show. Bye.
This is a great question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Though I wonder, the 2002 Pellington Mothman Prophecies film, if I may argue, is fairly dark.
Yeah, but that's a while ago at this point, you know? Time for a reboot.
And it can be argued that they already have.
What do you mean?
Done that with the Dark Knight movies.
This is why we have Alexa on.
Yes, that's true.
She knows the truths.
But you know, the other thing about that is that franchise, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are over, and now they're doing this Robert Pattinson one from Twilight or whatever. So, I mean, what if there was this is all the rage, guys. I'm out here in Hollywood and I know about these things, is doing crossovers and doing expanded universes. What if the next Robert Pattinson Batman movie brought in Mothman and, you know, they either fought or had to team up? That could be cool.
When you get into this whole...
My cat's yelling at me. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going. Allena.
One of the reasons why it's so controversial to talk about Mothman and Batman in this sort of context, you know, a lot of people aren't going to go along with these theories because it threatens their copyrights. Okay, the Batman franchise has a good thing going, so that might be why we don't have a Mothman remake at this point. It's too close. It's too close, and people are going to catch on. Just to wrap up where we started, bring it full circle here, I wanted to answer one of the questions Mike posed at the beginning in his poem.
She's doing my job for me, Paul, and I like it.
I'm glad to hear it.
Does Mothman poop?
Age-old question.
If he is an actual flesh and blood being, obviously, yes, he does have to poop. He does live possibly in the TNT area or have a home base where, you know, he's got a potty.
Allena, It has been great.
I'm sorry, were you talking to...
Allena Kestrel. It has been great having you on to speak about your extraterrestrial expertise involving the Mothman and the Batman.
I am not proposing that these are extraterrestrials.
Oh, yes.
These are ultra-terrestrials.
Yes.
These are not beings from space. These are beings from right here on Earth.
So ultra means Earth?
Earth, but a little, maybe higher vibration.
Ah.
Maybe just a higher dimension. They exist here on Earth, just in a way that we can't always see and understand.
But now, it's time for Paul to share with us his big reveal.
Oh, right now?
Oh, yes. That's why I said it is time
Got it.
for you to do it.
Sorry, I'm in the cave. You cut out for a second.
Ah, yes.
Here we go. Ready? Mike?
Right now? What?
Yes.
Oh,
No, I
what?
started
Sorry.
it. I'm doing it.
You, wait. Sorry, you cut out. You're in the cave. You cut out.
Oh, I'm going to start the big reveal now, okay?
Ah, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, B-movie maniacs, I think we have made it perfectly clear tonight that the Mothman is, in fact, a real person attempting to become the Batman. But one question remains: who is this mysterious person? We've been trying to figure it out. The callers have been calling in, trying to figure it out. And also, why would they take such drastic measures to do this?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay, well, just let me do it, okay?
Okay.
Tonight, I am happy to report that after months of research, we may have the answers.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Paul. I know what you're about to say.
Then shut up and let me say it.
Okay.
Just like in the Batman story, a real-life Batman would have to be someone with a great deal of wealth.
Oh, yes.
Someone...
I am sorry, Paul. I just read a funny joke I wrote in my notes.
You done?
I'll share it with you after the show. Please continue.
Someone with the means to purchase an elaborate moth or bat-like costume and be able to develop a way to create the illusion of flight.
Sorry.
You okay?
The Night Beast Hard Seltzer is hitting me very hard.
Okay. Just like the Batman story, this would need to be someone who wanted to escape the trappings of their real life, to do something greater for society. Perhaps even a well-known celebrity. And just like the Batman, this person, this hero, if you will, would need to conceal their identity for fear of the truth being revealed. And the best way to achieve this feat would be to...
I can see it, Paul. I see the bucket head-shaped light at the end of the tunnel.
Shut up and let me say it.
I am sorry.
The best way to achieve this would be...
Buckethead, right? It's Buckethead, right? That's the hero, the masked hero?
From Guns N' Roses?
Now, yes, but in the 90s, you know. On his own.
Alex, is there any way to cut his microphone off from where we are?
Alex, don't listen to him.
No, it's not Mike. It's not Buckethead, okay? Can I keep going?
It was worth a shot. Please continue.
Okay. The best way to achieve this...
What's Buckethead doing these days, anyway? I haven't heard of him in a long time.
Paul, are you there?
We'll do a different episode about goddamn Buckethead later, okay?
Oh.
And that didn't get bleeped, no.
Do you have a mailing list that I can sign up for so I can listen to this Buckethead one?
Yes, if you go to www.bucketheadfanpage.com, you can sign up for all of the Dark Hollywood secrets and episodes to come.
Okay, got it.
Paul? Are you... Sorry. Paul, please continue.
The best way to achieve this would be to disappear. Or perhaps even to die. Mike, Ellen, what celebrity died in 1966?
Carrot Top.
Don't answer that.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay,
Nope.
well.
Don't answer that. Let's look at the facts. The Batman TV series hit the airwaves on January 12th, 1966. As we mentioned earlier, the first Mothman sighting occurred on November 12th, 1966. Ladies and gentlemen, who died in between January and November of 1966? The answer? Paul McCartney. The infamous
Wow.
Paul is dead rumor, the report that legendary Beatles member Paul McCartney had died, occurred on November 9th, 1966, just 3 days before the first Mothman sighting. I propose to you that Sir Paul McCartney,
Interesting.
tired of the pressures of fame and attempting to do something greater, became obsessed with the new Batman TV show, faked his own death, was replaced by a double in the Beatles, and became a real-life Batman/Mothman.
Wow. Paul, you have blown my mind.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now, I am working on a book. I might circle back with you, Paul, and talk about some more of that with you to be included in my book.
I would be honored, and please, by all means, before we end the episode, let's get a book plug in there. Jesus Christ.
Tell us about your book.
Yes, it is called The Winged Crusader, Mothman's Mistaken Identity. So, yes, it has been mostly written.
Fantastic. It is a feat that few have completed. I myself have not written a book, but I have written poetry. Paul, have you written anything?
What have I written?
Just have you. I don't want to know what specifically, just if you have.
Yeah.
Great. Good to hear. Well, thank you all again for listening to Dark Hollywood, the show where you can be sure to get the true facts, the deep facts, the dark facts.
Wait, did Buckethead play bass? Did he play... Did Bucket... Did he play bass or guitar? I get him mixed up with Wes Borland.
No, he had a... Could you get Buckethead confused with anyone? He had a bucket on his head. A KFC bucket.
He had a KFC chicken bucket on his head.
Oh my god.
Sorry.